With everything going on around the world right now, it's sometimes difficult to remember that both life and business, in a large sense, carries on as normal. That extends to things the government do, including the regulatory front. In the past couple of weeks, there's been a lot of news globally as well as in specific jurisdictions relating to areas such as sanctions. In the past 2 weeks in the UK, OFSI, the Office of Financial Sanctions Implementation, have issued their largest ever fine of over £20 million to Standard Chartered Bank. There's also been calls for the US OFAC, Office of Foreign Asset Control, to alleviate some of the sanctions they've applied on countries including Iran and Venezuela, linked to the global pandemic, the coronavirus issue. These are causing big issues as it relates to business, not just for specific instances related to the pandemic. This has been happening for a number of years and, based on what we know at the moment, will continue into the future. This is something business has to be acutely aware of. Whilst many people are now working from home, are self-isolating and sometimes social distancing, business does in many respects carry on, and it's important that we carry on with things we're looking at from a financial crime perspective, including on the sanctions front. It's very, very crucial that businesses keep up to date with information and news that's happening on these areas, looking at what they can do to minimise those risks. We can't get the risks down to zero entirely, and these are very fast moving areas. Even in the last month, sanctions have been added to a number of entities in Iran, for example. So it's not something we can switch on and switch off as things like a pandemic occur around the world. To make sure you're staying up to speed with these areas, be aware of using relevant resources, not just from the regulatory bodies, for example the United Nations or OFAC or OFSI, but also using web resources from consulting partners and law firms available in myriad jurisdictions to find out what's happening on the legal and regulatory front. Again, it's crucial to maintain a breadth of awareness on any given day, but especially so at the moment. The last thing an organisation would want would be to return as things start getting somewhat back to normal as this year progresses and find they had huge issues that occurred when staff were away from the office working remotely. So make sure you stay on top of that.